Is there any apologies, Mark?
Convener, there's 3 apologies. Councillor Cathy Johnson, Councillor Tom Johnson and Councillor Paul Kelly.
Okay. Any declarations of interest?
I do, Chair. Page 22 to page 30 declaration on the 21/00303/CNS as Chairman and a Director of the Environmental Key Fund. We get most of our funding from the Blacklaw Wind Farm and Scottish Power, so I'll not take part in that. Thank you.
Okay. Right, if we just go on to the next item, item 2, the planning applications. Let's do them as normal. Pages 7 to 14, it's Mr. Edward Farrar, and it's a drive-through restaurant with associated access, infrastructure, landscaping and parking. And it's a site at Craigland Park Road, Cumbernauld. The recommendation is grant. Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. Pages 15 to 21, MBNL EE UK Limited and H3G UK Limited, and it's a replacement of 20-metre telecom mast with wraparound cabinet. Sorry, someone? No. Cabinet base, 3 new equipment cabinets, ancillary development, including removal of existing mast. And the site at High Craigenscall site, the recommendation is refused. Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. The next one is pages 22 to 30. It's the Scottish Government Energy Consent Unit, and it's a local authority consultation request, the application for consent under section 36 of the Electricity Act 1989 for installation of a proposed battery energy storage system and associated infrastructure, Blacklaw Wind Farm, Allington, and the recommendations we have in the application. Bob? You're on mute, Bob.
Yeah, just trying to get that in there, Chair, in the chat, but you're too fast for me.
All right. I see your hand up.
No objections, but basically, could I suggest that there are better communications to the local area, because we've got one in Netherton, and a lot of people were on the phone and letters about this construction going up. They've got this huge thing on top of the sort of containers, and they look like spaceships, and we had a lot of worry about noise and so on, but there was nothing like that. But people just didn't know. So a wee bit clarification from the company to the local area would be, I think, advisable if possible.
Okay. Note your comments. Thanks, Bob. Pages 31 to 37. It's a snack cabinet, 378 Bellshill Road, Forswood, Motherwell, and it's Mr. Alan Firth. The recommendation is grant.
Agreed.
Agreed. Pages 38 to 43, Mr. Christopher Tierney, change of use from industrial unit class 5 to indoor golf tuition facility at 35 Deerdykes View, Cumbernauld. The recommendation is grant. The applicants asked for the planning committee to look at operating hours, but we agree on the grant and we leave it to the officers to have a wee look at the operating hours.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay, thank you. Pages 44 to 50 is Dullertor Golf Club, and it's a temporary car park and contractors compound in retrospect. Dullertor Golf Club, Glen Douglas Drive, Cumbernauld, and the recommendation is grant.
Agreed.
Agreed. Thank you very much. Item 3 is the Notice of Plan and Enforcement Appeals lodged, pages 51 to 52, there for noting.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And the same for agenda item 4, Plan Enforcement Appeals decisions, pages 53, 54.
Agreed.
Agreed. Agenda item 5 is the North Lanarkshire Local Development Plan Report of Examination and Adoption Process, pages 55 to 56. Gordon.
Thanks, Convener. This report basically sets out the next formal stages in the process of adopting the local development plan for North Lanarkshire, following the receipt of the report of examination late last month, the 24th of May, it was published. The report in itself is 362 pages long. with the significant parts being the reporter's conclusions and reporter's recommended modifications contained therein. Of the issues that were identified at the examination, 15 have got no modifications attached. And what we're doing is currently analysing both the conclusions and the recommended modifications contained in the report in order that we can fully understand their implications and consequences prior to preparing the adoption plan for bringing in front of committee with a view to publication and moving to adoption later this year.
Thanks, Gordon. Is there any questions or any points to Gordon regarding that report?
Agreed.
Everybody quite happy with the recommendations? Thank you very much. Is creation of permissions at Ravenscraig, pages 59 to 61. There is a report there. Is anyone want to speak to that report, or is it quite clear what they're asking for? Is any questions on that? Is everybody happy with the report and the recommendations?
Agreed.
Right, great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your attendance. Just hang on for the local review body. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, colleagues. Welcome to the local review body meeting. I have in front of, first of all, if any declaration of interest on this item that's coming up. Okay, so moving on to the item 2, which is the plan application 20/00820/P, it's a dog care operation with ancillary buildings, access and landscaping, land at Glasgow and Edinburgh Road, Newhouse. And it's pages 5 to 8 and 9 with the decision notice you'll see on page 7 to 9. And Gordon, are you talking to the first 3 sections of this?
No, sorry, it's Mary Ann who'll be taking the councillor's report today. Thanks.
Okay, Mary Ann.
Thank you. Okay, today's planning application is 20/00820/PPP. Planning permission in principle is sought for a dog care operation with ancillary buildings, access and landscaping at land at Glasgow and Edinburgh Road, Newhouse. The site relates to a vacant plot of land located at Newhouse, along with the B7066, and features a dismantled railway to the east, B7066 to the north, vacant land to the south and west. The site is currently vacant but has previously had a dwelling house located on the site many years ago. The proposal would see the change of use of the land to facilitate a dog daycare centre facility consisting of a single-storey kennel, office and grooming building, exterior kennel runs and fenced dog training exercise area, as well as a new access and associated landscaping. Your photographs and map extracts on page 75 to 89 of your papers contain location plans and photographs showing the site and its setting from surrounding roads and aerial shots of the site to give a better appreciation of its site, of its context, as well as layout plans, elevations and a local plan extract. I will now hand you back to the convener for a decision on proceeding with the hearing.
Okay, colleagues, if you agree you have enough information, we can continue with stage 2 and stage 3.
Agreed.
Okay, carry on, Mary Ann.
Thank you, convener. I will now briefly outline the proposal, policy position, report of handling and subsequent decisions, consultations, representations and application for review, then take questions at the end. The proposal is for a dog care operation with ancillary buildings, access and landscaping, and is for planning permission in principle only. The proposed dog care operation would be operational Monday to Friday from 7:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night. Each of the 6 kennels will be designed to hold up to 10 dogs, depending on size. However, the applicant has advised that the operation would likely take up to a maximum of 50 dogs only. The staffing requirement of the operation is based on the number of dogs being cared for and a minimum of 1 staff member per 10 dogs with a maximum of 6 staff members. It should be noted that a previous application was received in 2019 at the same site for the use of the land as Dog Care Day Centre and construction of associated single-storey office, retail building, high fence dog run area and formation of ancillary car parking hard standing area, which was refused on the 23rd of August last year and the local review body dismissed the appeal. The applicant has since amended their proposals to develop this site as part of this current application, which is subject to review, removing the retail aspect of the proposed development. You have in your agenda packs on pages 75 to 89 a location plan, Google Map extract, site assessment photographs done by the agent, photographs done recently by a planning officer, layout plans, landscape plans, and elevations and floor plans. I will now discuss the planning policy. I will now highlight the policy criteria and factors noted in the Planning Officer's Report of Handling, pages 22 and 23 of your papers, to assist the local review body in its assessment and determination of this case. The application raises no strategic issues in terms of the Clyde Plan Development Plan 2017 and therefore can be assessed in terms of North Lanarkshire Local Plan 2012. A local plan map extract is in your papers at page 89, and the policies in the North Lanarkshire Local Plan and associated guidance referred to in the decision are dated on pages 47 to 49 of your papers and can be summarised as below. The site lies within the Greenbelt and the relevant policies are MBE 3A Assessing Development in the Greenbelt, DSP 2 Location of Development, DSP 4 Quality of Development, Supplementary Planning Guidance Note 07 Assessing Development in the Greenbelt. The case officer considered that the proposed new dog daycare business is not included within the potential acceptable types of new businesses within the Greenbelt policies set out in SPG 07 and NBE 3A, and therefore is contrary to policy NBE 3A. DSP2 Location of Development states that applications for developments within the Greenbelt must clearly maintain the urban-rural boundaries. As detailed in the report handling, page 23, the proposal would blur the lines between the two, introducing development more characteristic of urban development areas such as dog daycare, and would risk creating a line of development within this area of Greenbelt. As such, it is deemed that the proposed development does not comply with policy DSP2. DSP4 Quality of Development seeks to ensure that developments are well designed, do not have an adverse impact of neighbouring amenity, and to ensure that access to cars is safe for all road users. It is considered that the alterations to the wider site, such as formation of access, hard standing, and fencing to the dog training exercise area, will erode the rural area, which is worth preserving within the Greenbelt. Although mitigation measures are proposed to offset the impact of the proposed development, such as further landscaping and tree planting, it is deemed not sufficient to comply with policy DSP4. The report of handling recommends that the proposal should be reviewed for the reasons outlined in page 24 of your papers and in the reasons for reviews on pages 9 and 24 of your papers. The application was reviewed planning permission on the 10th of March 2021. I will now highlight other considerations noted in the Planning Officer's Report of Handling or matters raised on the review application to assist the local review body in its assessment and determination of the case. Consultations were carried out with the coal authority, who originally objected to the application due to a lack of coal mining risk assessment being submitted. This report was now received and the coal authority reconsulted with the response still to be received. Scottish Water had no objections. The Council's Roads Department have no objections subject to comments relating to the proposed site access. The Council's Pollution Control have advised that a site investigation report is required should the application be approved. Also advised that conditions relating to operation days and hours for the development would be required to reduce any potential noise impact associated with the development. The Council's Environmental Health have no objections, as the Council's Landscape Service as well. The Council's Green Space advised that a protected species survey was required, and on the receipt of its survey, Green Space had advised that a further protected species survey may be required depending on the timescales for the implementation of any development of this site. They also advised that the development of the site would result in the loss of the existing access rights to the site. These consultation responses are on pages 25 to 46 of your papers, with discussion on them on page 22 in the report of handling. There was no representations received. The report of handling pages 23 and 24 detail that supporting information was submitted with the planning application, which was noted and was considered by the case officer that the proposed dog daycare operation does not constitute a rural use which is necessary to agriculture forestry. In terms of dog daycare being a rural use which is fully compatible with agriculture and diversification of an agricultural business, the case officer considered that the proposed development is not associated with an existing agricultural business or agricultural operation, so cannot be considered as a diversification of an agricultural use. The proposed dog daycare operation is also not considered to be proposing a facility for outdoor recreation compatible with an agricultural or natural setting. The proposed development is primarily a commercial business providing dog daycare. The kind of proposed dog walking, training and exercise undertaken as part of the dog daycare operation is not considered an outdoor recreation that is required to be undertaken in an agricultural or natural setting. Daytime dog care such as that proposed can be undertaken in a variety of locations and do not exclusively require to be undertaken in the rural area. The case officer considers that the amount of jobs to be provided would not be enough to sufficient quantity to justify the development in this location. The applicant also gives examples that they think do include an aspect of dog daycare. The case officer states in the report of handling that this is not the primary function of the developments. The businesses examples highlighted also include 24-hour dog boarding, kennel breeding, as well as training and daycare. The applicant has advised that the proposed development would be operational Monday to Friday from 7:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night, rather than boarding kennel overnight. The case officer considered that the proposed development is not comparable with the example cited of other already accepted businesses in the Greenbelt. The review of application. The applicant has submitted a review statement which can be found in pages 11 to 20 of your papers. The statement expresses in summary the applicant's view that they believe the Greenbelt boundary does not serve to protect as a buffer any settlement as described in section 48 of the Scottish Planning Policy. In fact, the proposed development does accord with some of North Lanarkshire's guidance policies for NBE 3A, facilities for outdoor recreation, education and tourism that are compatible with an agricultural or natural setting and have a positive economic benefit. The applicant also gives reasons as why they think the proposal accords with Scottish Planning Policy and policies NBE 3A, DSP2 and DSP4 in the review statement. As with all applications, each case requires to be considered on its own merits and in accordance with policy unless material considerations outweigh the provisions of the policies. These are the factors and issues which require to be considered by the local review body when determining this application. I'm now hand you back to the convener for agreement on the policy position, material considerations and any questions members may have, and a decision and a reasoned justification. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Mary-Ann. We agree that the meets the policy decisions that were made at the time when the decision was taken. If agreed on that, and the report made by Mary-Ann, if I can ask for questions to the officer from anyone, if any observations or relevant questions. No questions from anyone? No observations? No. If we're happy with that, then I'm just going to move that from page 7, the recommendations which were refusal. Could I have a seconder on that?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Lynn Anderson. Is anyone otherwise minded? No. Okay, the application has been refused as agreed in page 7 to 9. Thank you very much for your attention. I don't have any other business, so thank you very much. Have a good day.